'Cause it's the rising of the sun, it's the bite in the air. Anticipation rides in my veins. A day like this must be rare. My foul life is in full swing, no telling what tomorrow may bring. So let it fly, cover the sky. I won't explain, I can't compromise. And ride with me in my foul life.
People of the YouTube channel, how are y'all today? I had a guy ask me a question earlier, and I don't remember what video it was on, but he had asked me a question, and he was asking about owner op and how to go about deciding who is the best to use, and was it better to get your own DOT authority and run loads off of a load board versus leasing under another company. My opinion at that is you need to look. First thing you need to do is you need to go to each company and you need to get them to print you off a paper of the contract that you will sign to lease your equipment to them. You need to take that paper to a lawyer, an attorney, somebody that knows legal procedures, and let them read over it. They more than likely, a lawyer's not going to pay you much to read over a form and advise you what they would do if everything sounds legit or if everything sounds like a crock of shit. Because fine print in contracts nowadays will screw you up. They will cause you to lose your whole truck and everything attached to that truck. So make sure you read fine print. Make sure you get a lawyer, somebody, an accountant, somebody that can look at it and say, yeah, this is right, this is wrong. You don't want to do it. Another thing you want to look at is, are you going to be running an old truck? Or are you going to be getting a new truck? Problem with that is, if you get a used truck, of course, that truck's going to nickel and dime you every day you own it. Even if you leave it sitting out in the yard for 3 days, when you crank it up, something's going to be wrong. And that can happen with a new truck, but at least with a new truck, you have a warranty that covers a lot of minor breakdowns. Of course, oil change, it's not going to cover. But if something goes wrong with the transmission or engine, shocks, springs, airbags, rotors, brakes, it's a list of things that warranties cover. So that's something you need to look into and decide which one you can afford to do. Another thing you need to look at is the cost to run that truck for a week. And the best way to figure that cost is figure your fuel at 5 tanks a week. And however many gallons that is, if that's 300 gallons a tank, then figure it at 300 gallons a tank times 5. That's 15,000 gallons you're going to burn that week. That's the best way to figure it. Figure it more than what you're really going to burn, because you never know. It all depends on the weight of the trailer, the condition of the road, the traffic is another thing. Because if you're stop and go traffic, you're burning more gas. If you idle a lot, you're going to burn a lot of gas. Because I idle all night and I burn a gallon an hour. So that's something you need to look into, take into account. And the last thing that I could say that you want to look at is the percentage of the load that you're going to get. So if the load is paying $10,000 to move it from St. Louis, Missouri to Louisville, Kentucky, then if you're going to get 80% of that, then you're getting $80,000. You need to take that $80,000 and say, can I run my truck and make money off of that load? Some companies pay you, different companies pay different percentage. Some companies pay mileage pay. That's where you get screwed, because a company may offer you $1.10 a mile plus 24-cent fuel surcharge. And what that fuel surcharge is every mile you go, you get paid 24 more cents for your fuel. So at the end of the day, you got paid $1.34 per mile you drove. There's where you'll get screwed over, because then after you get to driving, you'll realize $1.34 ain't paying my fuel. I'm making $200 after I carry this load to California from Atlanta, Georgia. So there's a lot of things, and I don't know anything about the DOT authority. I know the last I looked at it, it was $300 to get your own DOT numbers. Now I don't know. I'm not for sure what all else you've got to have. So I'm not going to go down that route, because I don't really know what all you have to get your own authority. I'm sure that $300 ain't going to get you your own authority. I'm sure there's some more stuff you got to pay for besides that. But I can't say anything about getting your own authority, because I haven't looked at load boards. I don't know how they operate. I do know there are a lot of jobs being posted to load boards, because I have actually downloaded a load board app and just looked to see just if it's worth trying to figure out that stuff. And I can say there's, and I live in a small town, so if I can find a load that picks up from around my house, 20-30 miles from my house, that goes to Compton, California, and is paying $10,000 to $12,000 for that run, there's got to be loads out the wazoo in these big cities. And I've heard that the load boards are also getting loads from companies that have got freight that they just can't move because they don't have enough trucks to move it. So they're asking for other owner ops to come in and move that freight for them. So that's just something. There's a guy on YouTube, Icewater815. He is an owner op. He does a lot of the load board. So I would advise, if you want to know more about the load board, he would be one to check out. He could probably tell you. He could tell you what to do and what not to do with the load board. And I know he posted a video not too long ago about negotiating with the brokers that do the load board. So go and check his page out and let him know that I sent you, because he'll get tickled over that, because he's pretty much shouted me out a couple times in the last week. But I mean, that's all I can say. I can't tell this person what to do. I can only give my opinion, and my opinion's like everybody else's opinion. We've all got buttholes and they all stink. So my opinion may stink. Don't take it to heart. Don't go off of what I'm saying. Look into it, do your research, and make your own choices. Because if you let somebody else run your life, you'll never have anything. You'll spend your whole life trying to make one person happy, and then you'll turn 70 years old and you'll realize you can't fucking do it. it's impossible to make everybody happy. You wind up satisfying one person and pissing off 30. So just make your own choices. If it pisses everybody off, oh well. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And as long as bills are paid and groceries are bought, you're doing right. If you're sitting on the couch not making no money, you're going to have a lot of people pissed off at you. So I'm going to leave y'all with the same thing I always leave with. You can't make no money without the left door closed. And you can't make no money if you bring bullshit shenanigans out on the road with you. Leave them fuckers behind you at the house when you pull out the fucking driveway. Make your money and then worry about bullshit. Y'all be good.